Hello, friends. It's Darren Cooper from DarrenCooperMusic.com, and you are listening to The Silent Creative, a podcast geared to help you turn down the noise so you can find your voice and create your art. Let's go. Well, welcome back. How are you today? Are you smiling? Are you feeling good? Are you ready for a new day, for a new week? I hope you are. Unless you're listening to this later in the week, then hopefully your week is ending well. You're ready for the weekend and ready to make this thing happen. I got to say, though, it is allergy season here in good old Indiana. And it has wrecked me pretty good. So if it sounds like I'm holding my nose while I'm talking to you, I am not. It's just all of the sinuses have done their work and have kicked my butt. And in fact, this week I came across, I was scrolling through Facebook and saw this post that literally made me fall over laughing because it's so true. And it said, will I survive the zombie apocalypse? Buddy, I'm barely making it through pollen season. And oh my gosh, that was the funniest post. I had to reshare it because it was so good. And then I got a bunch of people saying, dude, that's so true. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So maybe I couldn't survive the zombie apocalypse because I can barely make it through this pollen season. It's getting crazy around here. So to all my fellow allergy sufferers, I cheers you. I applaud you. Keep strong. It'll be over soon, I hope. So yeah, bear with my voice a little bit, as today we are going to be talking about singing like a bird. It might be kind of weird, but I promise it has a point to it. I'm going to share a quote that I came across this week that really stuck out to me, and something that I think is really, really powerful idea. But before we dive into that, I want to point you to DarrenCooperMusic.com. I'd love to give you a free gift, my new interactive single. Well, I always say new. It's new if you're new to the podcast, I guess, but it's been out there for a little bit. There'll be new music coming soon, but until then, Finding Oasis, my interactive single, you can download that at DarrenCooperMusic.com. Get it there, enjoy. I think it'll be a blessing to you. And so, yeah, DarrenCooperMusic.com. So, with that, let's dive in. A few years back, I came across an author, a blogger, a speaker, a guy who talks a lot about creating art, and his name is Jeff Goins. And if you don't know much about Jeff, you should go check his stuff out because he is absolutely brilliant when it comes to not only writing, but just this idea of working in art and creativity and bringing things that we have inside of us to life. And he actually sparked a podcast, I think it was episode 10, about the power of a name, because he shared a story about when he called himself a writer for the first time and how that changed everything for him. And when I listened to him talk about that was such a powerful idea about the importance of calling yourself something. And that's what I share about in episode 10. So I won't rehash everything, but the idea of waking up and calling yourself a writer, a dancer, a musician, a speaker, a teacher, whatever it is that you might even be scared of saying out loud, of saying that to yourself in the mirror each and every day, how it can be absolutely life-changing. And so go check out Jeff Goins. His website is goinswriter.com. He is brilliant, and he has been such an encouragement to me, and I love it. And so he is awesome. But anyway, this week I came across a post of his, and it hit me. And it actually hit a lot of people because he posted later that week about how many shares and likes he got on it. He just kind of circled it and was like, whoa, wasn't expecting this. But it was such a powerful quote. I actually want to pull this out and talk about it a little bit because, man, a brilliant and wonderful idea. But it said, do you know why birds sing just before dawn? Scientists believe it's to tell their mates that they made it through the night, as a way of saying, I'm still here. Maybe that's why we sing too, why we create art, as a way of saying, I made it. I'm still here. And man, I just want to give us a second just to let that sit in. When it says at the end, maybe that's why we sing too, why we create art, as a way of saying, I made it. I'm still here. Wow. And I know for some of you, you might be saying, well, that's great for all you creative folks, but I'm not really creative. I don't see myself that way. And so that doesn't really speak to me. But let me just take a second to kind of break that down a little bit to say that even if you don't feel yourself as a creative person, so I want to talk to maybe the teachers out there, the mechanics or the office workers, and encourage you and say that this actually applies to you. You are an artist in what you do, and you have to show up each and every day. It's time to sing and allow all of us to hear you. Allow all of us to know that you made it, that you are still here. And I just really want to encourage you, as I was thinking about talking and sharing this idea, that was one thing that was just echoing in my mind, is to encourage you that those of you who don't feel like creatives, like to see yourself as a creative person, because you have a voice and you need to speak into it. And when you bring the best of yourself, when you bring the best of who you are, that is putting the art in what you do. And that is so important and so vital. So I'm hoping that you hear me in that today. And for all of us that consider ourselves creatives, I know that hit me really hard, that it's easy for us to get bogged down. It's easy for us to say, you know what? That's already been done. That's already been said. I'm not as good as that person. To compare, to contrast, to say, no, that's not me, to get beat down by fear and anxiety. But let me just say today that it's time to sing. It's time to let everybody else know that you are still here, and that matters a whole lot. And to go back to all of you non-creatives out there, I saw this video this week about a teacher who works in a rough area of New York City. Right, all the kids, they're getting pulled into gangs. There's death. There's suicide. There's all this terrible stuff happening. And he looked out and he saw that most of this stuff was happening on the weekends and in the weeknights when they were I guess bored, really, when things were just they were just sitting around. They were trying to find stuff to do. And so he came up with this idea about, I can't remember the name of what he called the program, but basically the program ran on Friday nights and through the weekend, some throughout the week. And he basically opens the school up, and they have food, and they have a DJ, and they have sports, and it basically just kind of becomes a place where all the kids can come and hang out for a little bit. And it was amazing to see, like he was talking about the stats of all the things. They haven't had any deaths in the last, or since the program started. Like all these really cool statistics were starting to really point to the idea that this program was allowing the place or allowing for the kids to come in and have a place to be able to just be themselves and not fear gangs or streets or violence or anything against them. And it just began to change that community and that neighborhood for the best. And when I'm hearing that story, and as I'm reading and just weeping through this video as I'm watching it, I thought about the teachers out there, the mechanics out there, the office managers, those of you who work in what you would consider a non-creative field, that actually when you put the art in what you do, you change a community, and you can't lose the art of it. So I really, really hope that that is an encouragement to you today, because that gentleman that in that video, he was an artist. He was letting the world know that he was still there. He showed up and brought it all, and he made the world a better place. And that's exactly why I believe that we are all artists. So sing. Sing like there's no tomorrow. Sing because you have a song inside of you. Sing even if your voice cracks or sounds like you're going through the allergy season like I am. Sing and let us all know that you are still there. And that's why I want to end this time, this section here with this quote again that Jeff was talking about. It says, "Do you know why birds sing just before dawn? Scientists believe it's to tell their mates that they made it through the night as a way of saying, I'm still here." Maybe that's why we sing too, why we create art, as a way of saying, I made it. I'm still here. So over the next few minutes as the music plays, I hope that you can sit with that idea and begin to see and believe that you are an artist, and that your voice matters in this world more than you will ever know, and that you need to begin to sing and allow the world to know that you are still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. That's so good. Well, thank you for taking a minute to take a breath with me, to push pause on the day for a little bit, maybe to call a timeout in the day and just be able to take a few breaths and to remember that life is good, that you are good. It's good to be alive. It is good to be human, and that you are an artist and you need to express that and share that voice with the world. That's what this podcast is all about. It's all about turning down the noise so you can find your voice and create your art. I believe that you are an artist. I hope that you believe that today, and this just allows you to take a couple of minutes to breathe, to rest, to relax, and to step into it. And so if you enjoyed what you heard, you can pick up more music at darrencoopermusic.com. I have my free interactive single there, Finding Oasis. I'd love for you to pick that up. You can also hear my album, The Beginning, on anywhere that you listen to or stream music. Just search for Darren Cooper. It will come up, and it's called The Beginning. And this album is really an album that is to celebrate life. It is an album that is based on the creation story, and so it follows that, but it's a celebration of the fact that we have breath in our lungs, that there are birds in the sky, there are fish in the sea, and it is wonderful to be a part of all of that, to look around, to take it in, to soak it in. And I'm hoping that that's exactly what happens when you listen to it. So go pick that up or check it out on any of the streaming services. So until then, remember that you are an artist and that your voice is needed in this world more than you know, and you are loved more than you could ever imagine. So go create your art.